On a seemingly ordinary Saturday evening in Butler, Pennsylvania, a rally for former President Donald J. Trump took a harrowing turn. What began as a peaceful gathering of supporters quickly descended into chaos as multiple shots were fired towards the stage, resulting in a near-fatal encounter for Trump and tragic consequences for some attendees. Let's unwrap one of the most shocking attacks on a former president and how he managed to survive. We delve into the shocking timeline and the details of the shooting attempt on Donald Trump, examining the events of that fateful night, the background of the shooter, the narrow margin by which Trump survived, and the victims of the aftermath. If you are new here, please subscribe. Let's dive straight in. July 3rd, 2024. On July 3rd, it was announced that Trump would hold a rally on July 13th at the Butler Farm Show grounds in Pennsylvania. July 10th. On July 10th, an advance team began setting up for the rally, including the installation of generators in a large open field. The rally was part of the Trump campaign's attempts to garner votes in Pennsylvania. It was an outdoor event held during the evening just 34 miles north of Pittsburgh. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation. Timeline. Here's a timeline of attempted assassination of Trump, as new details are learned from the investigation. July 13th, 2024, 5:51 p.m. Secret Service is notified of suspicious person. 20 minutes before the shooting, the U.S. Secret Service was notified by the Pennsylvania State Police of a suspicious person with a rangefinder on the ground. 5:52 p.m. Secret Service shares information about suspicious person. The Secret Service disseminated information about the suspicious person with the rangefinder to the counter-sniper team and response agents on the ground, according to the three sources. At this point, local law enforcement did not know the suspicious person had a gun, according to a local law enforcement officer and the Butler County Sheriff. 6:03 p.m. Trump takes the stage. Donald Trump took the stage at 6:03 p.m. local time and began speaking to the crowd. 6:09 p.m. People alert officers to the gunman. People alerted law enforcement to the gunman on the roof of a building about 410 feet away from the stage, at least 2 minutes before the first shot was fired at Trump. The video provides insight into the chaotic minutes leading up to the attempted assassination of the former president and raises questions about the preparedness of law enforcement regarding the building. "Look, they're all pointing. Someone's on top of the roof," a person says, as at least one law enforcement officer walks around the building. "There he is. Right there. Right there. See him? He's laying down." Another person appears to gesture to the officer. "He's on the roof. Right here. Right on the roof." 6:11:29. People are seen spotting the shooter at 6:11:29 p.m., exactly 4 seconds before he opens fire. It shows people yelling that the shooter is right here. 6:11:33 p.m. First shot fired. As Trump was talking about immigration, the first shot from the would-be assassin was fired. 6:11:34 p.m. 2 more shots fired. The second and third shots from the sniper came 1 second later. All 3 shots came from Trump's right. 6:11:37 p.m. More gunshots heard. 3 seconds later, several rapid gunshots are heard. At least 3 more shots were fired, followed by what sounded like an outgoing shot as the crowd erupted into screams. Video recorded by a member of the audience shows Secret Service snipers appearing to aim in the direction of the gunman. A final shot is heard 15 seconds later. Secret Service agents surrounded Trump, who was grazed in the ear as blood ran down his face. It took a minute and a half to get the former president off the stage. 6:14 p.m. Trump leaves rally site. As Secret Service agents tried to hustle him into his waiting SUV, Trump defiantly raised his fist several times and seemed to say, "Fight." The shooter. The assailant was identified as Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Crooks had recently graduated from the Community College of Allegheny County and was employed at a nursing home. Despite his intelligence, Crooks was known to be a solitary individual. He was a member of the Clairton Sportsman's Club, where he frequently practiced at their 200-yard rifle range. On the day of the rally, Crooks scaled the roof of a nearby warehouse, positioning himself less than 500 feet from the stage. From this vantage point, he fired 8 shots towards Trump before being neutralized by Secret Service counter-snipers. Law enforcement recovered an AR-15 type semi-automatic rifle from Crooks's body. The weapon, legally purchased by his father, had somehow ended up in Crooks's possession. Investigators also found 3 explosive devices connected to him, 1 in his home and 2 in his car parked near the rally site. The FBI's investigation into Crooks's motives revealed that he had been searching for images of Trump and President Biden, as well as dates of Trump appearances and the Democratic National Convention. Despite these findings, a clear motive for the attack remains elusive. The victim, Trump, suffered an upper ear injury but was otherwise unharmed, later telling reporters that if he had moved his head slightly, he would have been hit in the head. 3 other men who were attending the rally on 13th of July were not so lucky. Comperatore. The 50-year-old volunteer fire chief died while trying to protect his family during the attempted assassination, diving onto them to shield them from the bullets. He was said to be an avid Trump supporter and to have been excited to attend the Pennsylvania rally where he was later killed. According to Pennsylvania police, Mr. Comperatore lived in Sarver, about 12 miles, 19 kilometers, away from the rally site in Butler, outside the city of Pittsburgh. David Dutch. Mr. Dutch is from the Pennsylvania city of New Kensington and is a longtime employee of the technology company Siemens, according to his sister. The 57-year-old suffered damage to his liver and broken ribs in the shooting and has had to have more than 1 operation. James Copenhaver. Mr. Copenhaver, 74, is from Moon Township, Pennsylvania, and was a registered Democrat, the New York Times reports. Albert Quay, a supervisor in Moon Township, told the newspaper that Mr. Copenhaver was retired and had become very interested in local politics. Investigation. In the wake of the incident, questions arose about how such a breach of security could occur. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro N. Mayorkas described the event as a failure of security measures. Despite the presence of 3 local law enforcement snipers in the vicinity, Crooks was able to position himself on the warehouse roof and open fire. A local police officer at the rally attempted to neutralize Crooks but did not deliver the fatal shot. It was the Secret Service snipers who ultimately took down the shooter. The FBI has since conducted a thorough investigation, searching Crooks's home, car, and phone, and interviewing nearly 100 individuals connected to the event. Conclusion. The shooting attempt on Donald Trump was a stark reminder of the ever-present dangers faced by public figures. While Trump narrowly escaped a more severe injury, the tragic loss of Comperatore and the injuries sustained by others serve as a somber reminder of the potential for violence in our society.